All right. Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. So, with your permission and blessings, I intend to again continue with the discussions on 12th canto, 3rd chapter. This is verse number 52, which is the last verse of the chapter. The chapter is entitled Bhumi Geet. And since this verse is also part of one of our assessment verses, so I would first recite the verse and then I'll bring up the verse on the computer for your perusal. So, and then we will go by the usual norm of word for word translations and the purport. Okay. It's a very famous verse. Krte dhyayate Vishnum dhyayate makhe dvapare parijharyayam kalau tad hari-kirtana. Let's have this verse now on our screen for your kind perusal. So here it is. Krte dhyayate Vishnum tretayam yadeto makhe dvapare parijharyayam kalau tad hari-kirtana. So I have given this a title, Harinam for the times we are living. So this is what we are going to discuss on based on this verse. So the synonyms. Project, need I go to the synonyms myself, or devotees are going to recite?
Say again, Prabhu.
Should I just read out the synonyms myself, or the devotees will also be reciting along?
No.
Okay.
Just to the.
All right. Krte in the Satyug, yat which dhyayate for meditation, Vishnu on Lord Vishnu, Tretayam in the Treta Yuga, Yajata from worshipping, Makhai by performing sacrifices, Dvapare in the age of Dvapara, Paricharyayam by worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna, Kalau in the age of Kali, that same result can be achieved, hari-kirtana, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Let's have the translation. Whatever results was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Purport. So the purport is by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and his followers. A similar verse is found in the Vishnu Puran, 6th canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 17, and also in the Padma Puran, Uttarakhand, chapter number 72, verse number 25, and the Brihanna Puran, chapter number 38, verse number 97. So all these three different references, the verse is the very same verse. It is Dhyayan krte yajan yagyais retayam dvaparirchayan yad apnoti tadapnoti kalau sankirtayat keshavam. Whatever is achieved by meditation in Satya Yuga, by the performance of sacrifice in Treta Yuga, and by the worship of Lord Krishna's lotus feet in Dwapar Yuga, is obtained in the age of Kali simply by glorifying the name of Lord Keshav.
Why is he blamed?
Srila Jiva Goswami has further quoted from the Brahma Vaivarta Puran concerning the degraded condition of people in Kali Yuga. So this is the same Brahma Vaivarta Puran, and then it's again continuing. Ata kalau tapo yoga vidya yagyadika krita sangha bhavanti na krita kula kushalai api kushalai api dehi. Thus, in the age of Kali, the practices of austerity, yoga, meditation, deity worship, sacrifice, and so on, along with their various subsidiary functions, are not properly carried out, even by the most expert embodied souls. Jiva Goswami also cited the Chaturmasya Mahatmya of Skanda Puran concerning the necessity of chanting Hare Krishna in this age. Tatha chaivottamam loke tapashi hari-kirtanam kalau yuge visheshena Vishnu prityai samachare. In this way, the most perfect penance to be executed in this world is the chanting of the name of Lord Sri Hari. Especially in the age of Kali, one can satisfy the Supreme Lord Vishnu by performing sankirtana. In conclusion, massive propaganda should be made all over the world to induce people to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, by which human society can be rescued from the dangerous ocean of the age of Kali Yuga. Thus ends the purpose of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to 12th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled the Bhumi Geet. So as we see that this is the last of the verses of this chapter, and this chapter, this verse is very particular about the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially for Kali Yuga. So there are certain, when I was reading this verse, I chose this verse, certain things popped out. One of the first thing what he's talking about is satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. Okay, so this is like for any dharma, the purpose is to samsiddhi haritoshanam, as Bhagavatam says, or even in Vishnu Puran it says, what is it? It's like very similar to this samsiddhi haritoshanam. It says like satisfaction of Lord Vishnu is the outcome of any dharma. So here, if we read closely this thing, this verse and all the quotations that has been cited here, you see, every time it says whatever results. So if we go a little down again, when it's quoting the three different Puranas with the same verse, whatever is achieved, so this is always going about the whatever thing. So what is that whatever? Now that's the first question that may come up. What is that whatever? It's like it seems that like we are led to already presume that whatever I might be thinking might be the part of that whatever. But it says that whatever is achieved in the previous three ages by the previous three methods of the ages, so that thing is achieved simply by chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra includes whatever is achieved in the previous yugas, but there is more to that in this yuga. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has got much more to offer than what the other processes in the other yugas had to offer. So we will look into that, because that whatever because it's talking about dharma, and when you see this verse closely, this verse actually tells us the different yuga dharmas for the different ages. You see? So it is not said like, it says krte dhyayate Vishnu, because as we understand, the yuga dharma for Satya Yuga is dhyana. The yuga dharma for Treta is yagya, makai. The yuga dharma of Dwapar is paricharya, deity worship. And the yuga dharma for Kali Yuga is kirtan, hari-kirtana. So this verse is, although it can be also be seen in a more generic way, but specifically it is talking about the yuga dharma. So since I consulted Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6th chapter, verse number 242, which is exactly the same verse has been quoted there. And Prabhupada quotes these verses over there, and the verses has been quoted. So that is basically and there it is also quoting the verse in that purport. Prabhupada is quoting the very famous verse, Hare Nam Hare Nam Hare Nam eva kevalam kalau nasteva 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 gatiranyata. And then he quotes the next two verses. One of them is this one, and the verse prior to this. The verse which is prior to this is also a famous verse. That is the verse prior to this is krte. Is the yeah, these two verses. Let me recite the two verses together. Kaler doṣe nidhe rajan asti ekam mahan guno kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. And then krte dhyayate Vishnu teta yajatam makhay dvapare paricharyaya kalavtat hari-kirtana. So like this is you see the sequence. So first it is talking about the faults of the Kali Yuga, and then it highlights the one thing that Kali Yuga excels in, and that is this: by by Krishna Kirtan, people can be delivered. And in that purport, I clearly remember they say, it writes verbatim, the
Prabhu,
can I show the
are you gonna keep? This is a Bhagavatam class. We discussed it before that you don't use, you don't use the share screen. This is a Bhagavatam class.
Okay.
So I don't know. You keep in the screen.
Okay, fine. It's like I just started and then I lost track of that this there. Anyway, thank you, Guruji, for bringing that in. Yeah, that verse, coming back to the same verse and the purport, the previous verse and the purport, it says something very strong. It says that the value of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can never be overestimated. So that's that sets the tone and the mood of the whole this whole topic. That the value of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra cannot be overestimated. So that's giving to the part of the understand. The reason when I was like keeping the verse there because I was using the verse. But anyway, so if you see that verse and we're talking about yuga dharma, so that's one thing what you call about yuga dharma, and therefore we see different yuga dharmas and like what is the yuga dharma for Kali Yuga. So the purpose of dharma or the ultimate goal of the dharma is what? Dharma leads to artha, artha leads to kama, and kama leads to liberation or moksha. So that whatever what was being written in the purport, in the translation, and also in the purport to the first quoted verse, that whatever is called the liberation or the salvation for the people in general, because that is what the dharma provides. So we will go a little bit deeper to see, it's like, is that all to it, to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as given in the Kali Yuga, or there is more to it, to that? Okay. So I am quoting Srila Prabhupada's purport from Chaitanya Chaitamrita on the same verse. Okay. I'm reading it out for you. The entire Vedic civilization aims at satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as that's the objective of the dharma. The same goal by performing sankirtana-yajna. Therefore, one who has education and wealth must use them to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by helping the Sankirtan movement. So that's what we need to understand, that whatever resources we have must be utilized to help this Sankirtan movement. That has already begun, the Hare Krishna movement or the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada is talking about this. So this Hare Krishna, this Hare Kirtan is very, very important, he is saying. Okay. So here we can understand that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, although is for as part of the dharma of the Yuga Dharma, is for everybody, but specifically the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if a part of bhakti, can give us Krishna Prem, something which has never been offered before. Anarpita charim chirat karanavatirna kalo. Samarpaitu munnato jurasham sumaktishyam Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita Sadaridaya Kandaris Puratava Sachinandana. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the very same thing. And that's the previous canto of 11th canto. It specifically mentions and cut like a couple of verses where it mentions the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the purpose why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world. So this is all connected. So now let's see some of the aspects of this verse where it is more pertinent, because this purport, you see, the last paragraph is talking about like propagation and preaching of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra far and wide. So Prabhupada talking about this very same verse is quoting in Science of Self-Realization. So I'm using those excerpts because so we can have Prabhupada's point of view here directly. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is not mere sentimentalism. There is a very rich background if one wants to understand this Sankirtan movement through philosophy and logic. So that's another thing. So that because preaching means then we have to go out and convince people through logic, through evidence. Okay? That's one thing. That's one thing. There is ample opportunity for this movement. For this movement is based on science and on the authority of the Vedas. So that's why we can, and that's precisely why we are here, like studying Bhaktivedanta. So, but it is all simplified. So, how much simplified it is? That is the beauty of this movement, whether one is a great scholar or philosopher or a child, he can take part without any difficulty. So that's the beauty of this movement. And even if somebody is a big professor, he can be made to understand through philosophy, through logic, through evidence of the Shastra. But even a child who doesn't have that kind of mental capacity can take part in this movement and take all the benefit of this movement. So that's the speciality of this hari-kirtana. So as we understand that, like for all the 4 yugas, the yuga dharmas, what we understand to be yuga dharmas can also be said to be the preaching strategies for those ages. So like in the Satya Yuga, what is the use? You try to influence people for dharma by using deity worship, say for example. It's not going to work. Won't be effective. Just like this, all these other processes won't be effective in this age without the help of hari-kirtana. So vice versa is also true. So then there's other ages. So therefore, this verse is actually also reveals the preaching strategy of all the 4 ages. So of course, there's only one exception to that rule. That this hari-kirtana, there's only one exception to that rule. That's like given in Bhagavatam 10th canto, 1st chapter, verse number 4. Nivritta tarse rupagiyamana bhava chaushadi manobirama ka uttama shloka gunanuvada uman vireja bina pashugna. So only a person who is the killer of the soul or an animal killer or meat eater, that person is the only person who won't be able to appreciate this idea of that. Is so simplified that it is available to every walks of life, because he doesn't have that sukriti. He's just unfortunate. He's just unfortunate that he cannot understand the uttama shloka gunanuvada. He cannot understand the glorification of uttama shloka Krishna, who is praised by the choicest words. So so that's like that is why that this preaching needs to be, we need to preach this far and wide, the glories of the holy name and the holy name both. And to those people who in a generic way take to this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, they get the chance to be liberated from this material world. And those who are very specifically take to this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, take initiation into the Sampradaya, take Krishna Prema at the goal of their life, this very Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, this hari-kirtana, this yuga dharma becomes prema dharma for them, and they can get the ultimate goal of human life, Krishna Prema, as the fruit. So that is, of course, also the mood and mission of Prabhupada. That's the mission of Prabhupada, to deliver everybody. Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. So this verse talks about Tarine, how in Kali Yuga, how people are delivered by this massive propaganda of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is possible. So Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita, again in Madhya Lila, 20th chapter, verse number 345. This is basically Sanatan section. So there Prabhupada is quoting the same verse, and he's saying, is like, that's what, like, you see the Prabhupada's mood is, he's bringing that, like, that is bringing out the mood. At the present moment, I'm quoting, at the present moment in Kali Yuga, there are many false meditators who concoct some imaginary form and try to meditate upon it. It has become fashionable to meditate, but people know nothing about the object of meditation. So the object of meditation is Hari. So that is what we are doing. That's what's the main idea of this yoga dharma is all about. Okay. So further in the renunciation through wisdom, Prabhupada is clarifying this and is broadening the spectrum of hari-kirtan. What does hari-kirtan includes? So he's broadening and he says, the word hari-kirtan used in these verses, so all these verses, wherever Prabhupada is used, so which means singing or chanting the glories of Krishna, could very well apply to the Bhagavad Gita, the song sung by God himself. That's very important to understand. Is the Hare Krishna, the spirit of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the spirit of Bhagavad Gita, and one and the same. So they cannot be separated, segregated. That sometimes we see those things that devotees might have. So it's part of our, again, the application part and the understanding that okay, because this is the Kali Yuga and all we need to do is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What is the use of reading books? What is the use of reading Bhagavad Gita? Okay, let me play the devil's advocate here and up the bet. I'm upping the bet. The upping the bet is all the three books which are stressed in our sampradaya, in ISKCON specifically, be it Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, does not explicitly mention the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So how do you address that? So for that kind of thing, so we need to we have to be very, very careful so that we understand why we are doing what we are doing, why we are reading and why we are chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Wait, I'm just looking for something. Yeah, so to this question, the question which I raised, so since our primary books do not address, do not contain the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the 16 names directly. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur answers that, and he says the Mahamantra was present before the Shastras appeared, and he gives the evidence as Goloke Prem Dhan Harinam Sankirtan. So before anything came into being, before the creation came into being, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra was present in Goloka eternally. And from there it is coming down. So therefore, before as we understand, the Shastras, when the Shastras were given by Krishna, Tene Brahmarida Adikavaya Moyanti Yat Surya, to Brahma. So that came, but the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the name, holy name, is there perpetually, eternally in Golok Vrindavan. Therefore, that precedes and predates even the Shastra. So to those people who say that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not mentioned in the Shastra, should be enlightened that it is the Shastra which is an expansion of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's exactly what the Goswamis have done, expanding the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in all the Shastras. So Nana Shastrane Vicharane Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako Loka Nam Hitkarino Trivumane Manyav Sharanyakarau. So that's Chat Goswami Ashtakam. So that's what the Goswamis have done. So by different shastras, they have established what is prema nam dharma. So, but that is already present within the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So it's just like he also gives a very interesting example of Valmiki, and he says that what was the background of Valmiki? A dacoit, but he chanted Ram Nam, and then the whole Ramayana manifested within his heart. It is not that he read Ramayana first and then he chanted Ram Nam. He chanted Ram Nam, and then Ramayana manifested, and then he became the famous compiler of Ramayana. So that proves that the Shastra comes from the holy name. So the holy name does not actually requires any like any validity in that sense of the term. But since we always have been given this what do you call this? A template of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we can always prove the existence of Hare Krishna Mahamantra from different scriptures, be it Kalisantara Upanishad, be it Brahma Vaivarta Puran, and so forth. But this another way, Bhaktisnasada Thakur proved the supremacy of the holy name. And that's what we will even see when we will conclude our presentation, and we will conclude our presentation with the conclusive verse of Bhagavatam, the last verse of the Bhagavatam. Nam sankirtana-yajna sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukkha samastam tam namami harim param. So that proves that at the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is talking about the supreme chanting of the holy name. So coming back to the point of this Prabhupada and enumerating the mood of Srila Prabhupada of propagating this, and this purport itself is pushing for propagation of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra far and wide. Now, I would proceed to another aspect of the same topic, which is like a little more personal. Found it that because although the verse apparently is talking about yuga dharma, but for me, it is also my sadhana. So the entire sadhana bhakti is based on the same process, which is also, by the way, yuga dharma. So what is the definition, basic definition of sadhana bhakti? If you see Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says, krte sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sa sadhana abhidita. That means that activity, those activities, by performing them, one can evoke bhava, ecstasy for Krishna. That is called sadhana. So the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra as part of, like this is also quoted in Chaitanya Chaitamrita in Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, verse number 177, part of Rupa Shiksha. So there also it is stressing that this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the whole sadhana bhakti, this is like based around and an expansion of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and this chanting. It has got only one purpose for the sadhakas, which is the attainment of Krishna Prem. So, that Krishna Prem is only available when we are understanding that the conception of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is not blank. It's just like because it's all based on the conception. Because this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also chanted by a Mayavadi, can be chanted by anyone. So that doesn't mean that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is going to reap the same result for everybody. It is based on the conception, what conception we have about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and accordingly, this will reap the results. There can be a Mayavadi conception. Okay, there can also be a Sahajiya conception. So, or misconception, I should say. So it all depends, like what is our conception of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because simply, as we understand, that simply by chanting Namabhas, one can get liberation. So is our movement all about chanting of Namabhas? Certainly not. Our movement is all about chanting Shuddhanam, and the Shuddhanam that gives Krishna Prema. That means the Yuga Dharma and the whatever thing of the Yuga Dharma is included in the actual package, which is Krishna Prema and service to Lord Krishna eternally. So okay, so let's go to that towards the conclusion, and let's conclude this subject what we were discussing by quoting a few verses from Bhagavatam, and we will see how they're. It's like as I said that this Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be taken. This Yuga Dharma will be taken by people who are most intelligent, or those who are taken up this movement, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this Hare Krishna movement, are actually the most intelligent. Okay, so Krishna Vashanam, Krishna Sangvapangasta Pashadam, Yagya Sankirtana Praya, Yajante Hi Sumedasha in 11th canto, 5th chapter. It is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I already quoted before, that he came to give us this Anarpita Charim Chirat, what was not given before. So he has given this Yagya Sankirtana, this Sankirtana-yajna, and not just that, because that will be taken up by the most intelligent. Why most intelligent? Because those are the people who have the chance of getting the highest benefit of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Krishna Prema. So otherwise, Jnane Prayase Namanta Udapas Namanta Eva Jivanti Sanmukaritam Avadiya Vartam Sthane Sthita Shutigatam Tanva Manobhi Traitas Ajita Jitopi Traitas Trilokyam. So it says otherwise. So without this, simply by using the path of monism, jnana, so that is certainly there. There's no comparison between this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Yuga Dharma, the specific Yuga Dharma of the Kali Yuga. Even if we match against all the Yuga Dharmas of it's like, okay, fine, this is Yuga Dharma for Satya, it's Dwapar, there's Treta, but the Kali, it actually tops everything else, because it can give something which cannot be given by those other Yuga Dharmas as well. So, but that can be performed by Sthana Sthita Shruti-gita Tanuman Manobi, that we can, wherever we are in our respective varnas and in our ashrams, wherever we are, we can practice that. Whereas these other Yuga Dharmas, we understand, were not possible for all the walks of life to be performed by all walks of life. It was not possible. Satya krte dhyayate Vishnu, not possible by all the varnas and ashramas. There are only certain varnas and ashramas who had the privilege to execute that kind of Yuga Dharma. But like Yuga Dharma, by its definition, as we understand, is available for everybody. And that's why the process has been so simplified, as Prabhupada is saying, that even the professors can take that, but even the child can take that. So, and therefore, the ultimate fruit, if we close that, that is how the gopis found it in their gopi geet. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavirinitam kalmashapaham Shavana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvigrinantiye Bhuri Dhajana. Only the most magnificent and most generous people, they are the ones who are chanting this, and they become the most, they are termed as the most generous people, because that is the all bestower of all auspiciousness is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this Harinam. And whoever hears that, so all the 6 characteristics of devotional service can be found in this verse, and while glorifying the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that all the 6 characteristics of devotional service, that it is Shubhada, it is Klesha, it has Kleshagni, it it has got Sandra Andhra Vishesha Atma, it is Moksha Lagudakrit, it is Sudhar Labha. So all of that is found in this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and this verse, which is one of the choicest verse glorifying the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and those who chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So with this, I will open up for questions and answers. We have a couple of questions and answers. Otherwise, we can continue. Hema Gopi Maji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, because chanting came before the scriptures, then why don't we just simply chant and not study scriptures? It should still work.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Why don't we? It's because I understand that the more the merrier. Very simple. I could turn around the question and ask, like, why do we take prasadam then? The more the merrier. Why do we go and have darshan of the deities? The more the merrier. Why do we serve Tulsi? Why do we serve the Brahmanas? Why do we serve the Vaishnavas? The more the merrier. So the point is that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra has expanded as the whole devotional service. It is not against each other. It's not been matched up against each other. Unfortunately, we sometimes hear, you actually brought out a very interesting point, which is an observation. I have observed this thing. I don't know if you have also observed. Please join in if you have observed, all of you, that Radhika Nagar Prabhu? Yes, Prabhuji.
Question is not the observation. I have a question. Following up, should you continue?
Okay, I haven't finished. Let's finish. So this people they tend to basically try to how do I say have a fight with the different limbs of bhakti. So bhakti is one full. It's called Bhakti Devi. She's a personality. This is like us, any person. He has got limbs, right? I have got eyes, ears, nose, tongue, everything. So bhakti also has got all of those things. That is called the limb of bhakti. So then it's not like that one limb of bhakti is opposed to another limb of bhakti. So they all work in tandem, not that like they are like kind of like opposed to each other. So that's my observation, that sometimes people tend to do like that. Why not only Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at the expense of everything else? So, but that's the whole package. That's what Rupa Goswami gave us. Thank you. Radhika Nagar Prabhuji.
I was wondering if you could please elaborate on this point that you said that the Shastra, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the source of the Shastra. I mean, I may be using different words.
It's in a different way. It's like we see, okay, actually it's not very difficult to understand. We understand that the whole thing came from the vibration of Krishna's flute. How does that come? That comes to the Gayatri Mantra. Or that's called basically the Omkar or the Gayatri Mantra. So we see the seed. You see? So just like Veda has got a mother, right? So that's Veda Mata, that's Gayatri. So then the Gayatri, that also has a source. That's the Bija, which is called the Om. And we see that the Om and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra are non-different. Actually, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the fullest expression of the term Om. As we see in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada expands that thing. That what is the difference and the similarity between and the superiority of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra over Om. That the Omkar is not something impersonal, but it actually expands into the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the fullest, not expand, actually, you see, that's the, as you say, the purport of the Omkar is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in that sense. So therefore, it's non-different. So it's the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and the Omkar is non-different. So that's why whatever applies for this applies for that, because this Omkar, as we understand, the same Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is coming from Golok Prem Dhan Hari Gram Sankirtan. So it is coming from Golok, Vrindavan. It is coming from Golok. It was there in Golok. So then after we come to this material world, we have the whole sadhana. We go back to spiritual world. Again, we encounter the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So in between that, there is like Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, everything is there. When we go back, again, we meet the same Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's I understand how it can be explained like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. I'm just expanding upon that. You asked.
Is there a direct reference to illustrate that?
This one, of course, yeah, Vedamata, I just like connected all the dots. Gayatri, Brahma Samhita. I'm just like quoting the different aspects of the Brahma Samhita on one hand, talking about like Gayatri coming
But
through the
this
flow.
is an explanation. This is an
Then
explanation.
the first verse of Bhagavatam itself. So that's the explanation. The Bhagavatam itself is the explanation of the Gayatri mantra, Satyam Paramadhimai. So that's how the Gayatri has to predate that.
I understand this is an explanation. Okay.
Yeah, it's explanation.
One day there is like a, you know, a verse, a source
Clinching.
verse, which actually says this, because, you know, we have Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we have Prabhupada explaining it, but I
Yeah.
am, you know, member of some other lineage, and I want some
Yeah.
evidence. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually the source of the, you know, Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, you know, Rig Veda, because you're making
Yeah,
a very
of course, we find yeah, okay. You reminded me something very interesting. Thank you, Prabhuji, actually for giving me the clue. I don't know whether you actually deliberately gave me the clue to bail me out. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that is the Kalisantara Upanishad, because the Kalisantara Upanishad starts like that, Brahmo Vacha. So when Narad, the conversation, the Kalisantara Upanishad only has got 3 verses. So the first verse is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Idishwarshakam Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam. This one, the second verse talks about how the Hare Krishna Mahamantra comes into being, and the third one, how to use it. So the second verse, it is actually like said that the conversation between Narada and Brahma is that like when he asks that how everything came into being and what is the specific thing which is now in the Kali Yuga is most important. And then he brings up this, that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the basically is the Mahamantra, not just the mantra, is the Mahamantra, the mantras of all the mantras. So the source of every mantra, the source of everything, Maha is like the delivering. There's no other Mahamantra mentioned in Shastra. So that which is like, and then it talks about that Iti Shorashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashana, the all entire Vedas, there is no other Naso Parataram Payo Sarva Vedesho Dishyate. So no other nothing else has been enjoined in the Vedas as a solution to this Kali Yuga. So in a way, yes, that the Kalisantara Upanishad, by the dialogue between Brahma and Narada, in a way indicates that yes, exactly, that this is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like coming from right from the beginning of the creation, before the beginning of the creation. And then like you join the dots, so certainly you can come to that conclusion. It's one of the conclusions.
But you know, there are so many Upanishads. That's not like a very. I'm getting echo. I don't know why I'm getting echo. I'm saying that there are many Upanishads. I don't know why is the echo coming. I don't know. Do you getting echo or only me?
No.
Yeah, Bimal Prabhu, can you mute for a moment when Radhika Nagu Prabhu speaks? You just mute.
Yeah. So I'm saying that there are Upanishads. You know, that Upanishad you're quoting is not a very famous one. And you know, like you have Ishopanishad, for example, or you have other. And I'm just wondering, why is it not more obvious? Why is it that, you know, only this place you have to, you know, and there is so many yoga processes. Like you said, even Bhagavad Gita doesn't directly mention the Hare Krishna mantra, right? So, you know, it could be a source of doubt for the skeptical. I know you're answering your question, you're about answering the question, but I just want to be kind of, you know, convinced.
Yes, I mean, we can certainly go on with that discussion, and we have got so many evidences regarding that. Even from directly from the Shastra, beginning with the first doubt you raised about Kalisantana Upanishad, but it's part of the 108 Upanishads, part of the Muktika list. So the Upanishad is authorized, that's beyond question, first. Second, and as I said that, because if it is an Upanishad, then the mantra is directly coming from an Upanishad. So there are no two ways that can be, that can be brushed aside, because the mantra is coming directly from the Upanishad. That is the first verse of the Upanishad, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, in the fullest form. It doesn't even say something like, as we see, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Somebody can say that, oh, there are so many holy names, Hare Nams. But it's specifically this mantra, and it says that it must be chanted in the Kali Yuga. So there is no way we can get around this unless and until then. If you say that Kalisantana Upanishad is put under the scanner, then the Muktika Upanishad and all the 100 list as part of the list is also under the scanner. So then there's no way we can get around it. And to top it, certainly the other acharyas, they have all quoted. So yes, as you said that as like a representative of another sampradaya, as you post yourself to be a representative of another sampradaya. So this is what our school is all about, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. These are our primary evidences. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Chaitamrita. And by the way, there's another book, Chaitanya Bhagavat, that directly spells the Hare Krishna Mahamantra twice. So that's also one of our books, because now I rather chose to bring the Upanishad because the Upanishad is more universally accepted than maybe Chaitanya Bhagavat, and somebody may say that it's not from any other tradition, our tradition, we made it up. But this it's Upanishad, nobody can get around it. So as I understand, yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Hare Krishna. You can stop the recording now.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait. How to stop that?